It's Powerback time on the Gutsy Podcast. Each week we bring you 5 minutes of condensed inspiration to reclaim the courage and momentum you've given away. You've got big things to do, so let's get your power back. Have you ever had one of those daunting tasks? That thing that you keep thinking about on a regular basis, you know it needs done, but you just keep saying, oh, I'll get to it tomorrow. Oh, I'll get to it in the next day. And inevitably, tomorrow comes and the next day comes and the task continues to roll over. So I'm going to take you down a quick story path here, guys, because I have done this recently and I want to bring this to you so that you can prevent this unnecessary stress in your life. This is even going to sound really ridiculous saying out loud because it's fascinating what large of a mountain that we create in our brains that are actually molehills here on the ground. So let's take Microsoft Word. This is the whole premise of this entire story. For whatever reason, and what I learned to be the reason, but out of the blue one day, a couple of months ago, honestly, when I would open up a new document, it wouldn't save as the right size. Like all of a sudden it was like 8.75 by 10.25 or some ridiculous size. So I would go to the settings and I would choose and ask for it to make it, regular letter size, and it wouldn't change. So I had to deal with this like really abnormally sized document. Well, I can't use that, right? It doesn't look right. It throws me off. So every time that I wanted to have a quote unquote normal size document, I would open up another document, resave it as a new name, delete out all the content, and then use it. Now, I know this doesn't seem really big or whatever, but I use Word for a lot of different things in my business. I use it when I'm documenting questions and planning for the podcast. I'm writing content for works. I use it for communications. I mean, I'm in Word a handful of times a week. But every time I opened it, I got irritated and frustrated because why on earth, Word, would you make this ridiculous size document? I allowed this to go on within myself for, I would say, probably 4 to 6 weeks. I knew what I had to do. Was working in an outdated Microsoft Word. I couldn't tell you what year it was. I don't know why it didn't auto-update. There's 1,000 reasons and questions that I'll never know. But I knew, and the reason that I knew was because I went out to one of my coworkers' desks and I realized, oh, your Word and Excel icons look different than mine. They look way more updated. Shit, I know what I have to do to get rid of this problem. But to do so, I knew that I was going to have to take the time to download the programs. I know that's not hard, but time is really precious. I was going to have to download the programs. I was going to have to reinstall them. And then inevitably, and why I put this off for so long, I had to go find the passwords because I had to log back in. And then the old documents needed converted to the new documents. And do you want to save over the old one? And all these things started happening. And I was like, see, this is why I didn't want to deal with this. And then I stopped and I thought, well, here's a podcast episode. Because how many times do we put off doing sometimes the smallest task because of the larger things that come along with it? It wasn't about downloading it. It wasn't about putting in the password. It was the combination. And really, honestly, it was the time to stop, deal with the issue, do what I needed to do to alleviate the initial challenge that I started from in the beginning. The initial challenge was, this is really annoying, and every single day I get frustrated. So it takes more time and more effort to put into thinking about why and how you can't do what you need to do than it is to just do the damn thing to begin with. So this week, I want you to take your power back by doing one of the tasks, taking care of the annoying thing that you just don't want to deal with, but your life is going to be a lot easier and a lot more streamlined if you just block out the time to do it. What's bothering you every single day? What do you look at every single day? Is it that thing that sits on the steps every single night when you walk upstairs? Why not just pick it up and take it up and put it away? Is it that crooked blind in your living room that annoys the crap out of you every single day? And you're like, oh, to have that not annoy me anymore, I have to go to the store and then I have to pick out a blind and then I have to bring it home and I have to do all these things. We make these smaller tasks seem like this enormous challenge, but we're willing to sacrifice a little bit or a lot of bit of time every single day thinking about how annoying it is. I really want you to look around, and if it's easier, make a list. What is bothering you on a regular basis? What do you think of every day and go, ugh, my gosh, this is annoying me. This is frustrating me. This is preventing me from being able to do something else. And I want you to block in some time to just deal with it. Not only is the thing going to be gone, but you're going to gain a lot of capacity back in your emotional health. I'm proud to say that I have downloaded the new word and everything is working beautifully. And guess what? After I dealt with all the little things that came along with it, I opened up a new document today, perfectly letter sized. Join me next week on the Gutsy Podcast as we talk about processes. Now, you're probably thinking, oh my gosh, Laura, that does not sound exciting. I don't want to listen to that episode. I'm going to pause you right there and encourage you to tune in. Because what we have found is the lack of processes could actually be the thing that's holding you back from growing. I faced this head on, I experienced this head on, and I would love to share some of those ins and outs with you. Until then, follow the Gutsy Podcast on Facebook and Instagram. And for more Gutsy insight, follow me personally at @ThatLauraOra. See you next time.